Hey everybody, this is Jeff Fry with Talent Path, and I am here today with Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
Good, good. Andrew, I'll let you introduce yourself in a minute, but just make sure people know that you are a Talent Pather who has been through the entire process. You didn't know who Talent Path was at some point in time, and now you are past this. You are placed with a client hired on and doing bigger and better things. That's right, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit. I'm going to have you tell your story. First, I know you. I get the privilege of being when we could all be in the office together, being in the office together, and going through the training and all that. So I remember I have fond memories from our times during that with you, but other people didn't get the privilege of knowing you. So I'd love for you to give a little thumbnail sketch about, before you heard of Talent Path, what were you up to? School, work, give us a little bit of your background.
Okay. So pre-Talent Path, I went to Louisiana State University. I studied information systems and decision sciences. I concentrated in business intelligence. While I was in school, I thought it would be cool to kind of work with technology and leverage that technology to drive insights for business, whether that be with analytics, database, SQL, all that good stuff. But I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with that. But that's kind of my background pre-Talent Path.
Sure. Sure. And so you graduated, and then did you have a job between the graduation and Talent Path? How long was the transition between, graduation and Talent Path?
So graduation happened in May of 2018, and at that point in time, I was not in contact with Talent Path. I was looking at some other jobs elsewhere, and Talent Path stepped in probably around June, and I ended up actually starting with them in July. So it was a very quick turnaround process from graduation to when I began with Talent Path.
Okay, so real quick, along those lines, you had some interactions with other employers and things. If you remember back, what triggered you to head to Talent Path instead of some of these other opportunities? Do you remember?
So a lot of the other opportunities that I was dealing with was a lot more, analyst type positions where there was, I wasn't able to leverage, what I went to school for whether it be the Power BI, the reporting stuff. There were just certain things that I learned in school that I wanted to apply to my career. And I felt with some of those opportunities, I wasn't able to do that. I was, a lot of it was around Excel and documentation and other things like that, just kind of entry level positions in bigger corporations. And I didn't have the opportunity to kind of prove myself as a valuable asset when it comes to reporting and things like that.
Got it. Got it. So hopefully you're able to do that now. Tell us a little bit about the day in the life of you now. Where are you at? How long you been there? What's the infrastructure look like? The ecosystem. Give us your day.
Okay, so in February of 2020, I was turned over full time to Contract Land Staff, which is a client of Talent Path that I was previously working for as a Talent Path consultant, and they actually ended up hiring me full time. So right now I'm a business intelligence developer over there. And I mean, the day in the life is never the same. We're constantly doing different things each day, but I would say most of my job consists of some custom reporting. We're a Microsoft shop, so we use SSRS or SQL Server reporting services and Power BI. And with that, we host our own application for right-of-way services, which is what Contract Land Staff does. They are a land acquisition company, and we actually have our own application that we manage and run and store all the data for all of our different clients. So with that, I do some data imports and some data migrations. So when a client wants their data, they have a database that they keep their land data in, and we have our own structure, and I'm able to take our data and map it so it can go into their database and be used in their applications as well. And then another thing that I do is some data modeling and integration. So we have all these different applications, whether it be our link application, which is the right-of-way services, or our accounting application, being able to connect all those and integrate them together in a way that is actually valuable, and we can allow the business to use those insights that they get from the data and make good decisions.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, neat and important. So give me a little bit about the culture there. A lot of individuals talk about coming to Talent Path and being placed in things and having a fit, and you seem to fit into that culture. Give me a little bit about the people, the culture at where you're at.
So the people over at Talent Path are great. Ever since from day one until today, everything's been great. The people are very friendly. It's a very relaxed culture. I will say the first day I showed up wearing business casual, which is what I'd been wearing throughout my time at Talent Path, and that was my understanding as kind of the benchmark of what you wear at a company. And when I got there, the vice president of technology told me that's not how we're going to dress. We're going to wear polos and jeans, and in the summer on Fridays we can wear shorts and flip-flops. So it was a bit of a change from being I was at a different place in Talent Path before, where it was a little bit more, I don't want to use the word structured, but they were you dress nicely at this place, and coming to Talent Path, it's a little more relaxed. It's very comfortable there, and I get along great with my team. I currently we're kind of a merged group, so it's the data team, which is the team that I'm on, and then application support, and we've kind of merged together as one team, since we are usually touching a lot of the same processes and objects in our technical world, but they have some certain responsibilities and we have our responsibilities, but we come together as one team and work together to solve the problems of the business.
So all in all, a good fit for you, good experience for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You did a lot of work to get from the degree to the position that you're in right now, and then we're only few years away from that. Give me a lesson learned in there somewhere, during that. If someone's watching this and they're like, oh, sounds like great, that's awesome. It's going to be an easy process. Let's get through it. You got anything for them?
So I will say probably my biggest lesson learned so far, it is early in the career, but biggest lesson learned so far was the very first time that I had to do a database migration. When we do this, we export the data into a spreadsheet and we do manipulation. Usually we're able to do manipulation in a spreadsheet, but if there's a lot of data there, it would be a lot better to script it. And people were voicing to me that I should try scripting it my first time, and I thought about it, and we scheduled an outage for the client. I think it was about 6 hours, a 6-hour outage, and through my testing, everything, I was finished within 6 hours. And the very first time that I get around to do it in production, we scheduled the outage with the client, and I decided not to script anything. I decided to do everything manual because I felt like that was the safest way to do it. I felt most comfortable doing it that way, and I ran the outage until like seconds before it was supposed to be over. And I will never ever. I will try and script everything that I can to avoid any manual processes and anything I do now, not just migrations, but if there's any way to automate things, I will try and make things automatic, because human error can cause delays and also inefficiencies in a lot of process.
So there's several lessons there. Automation is one. Listening to the individuals that potentially might know a little bit more.
Yes.
There's good lessons in there. I commend you for telling us the story. That's great. So give me, you mentioned Talent Path a couple times, and I'm just wondering if you had to talk about how Talent Path has helped you through this process, right? You did, obviously, you did it, right? You went from degree to a program, you accepted and came on the talent path journey with all of us, and you're now at this place, and you're doing the work, and you're muscling through a 6-hour outage, and instead of scripting it and not doing it again later. I mean, that's you, right? Is there in what way, shape, or form has Talent Path contributed to the fact that you're being a success now?
So I will first say that without Talent Path, there would be no position at contract land staff available for me to have. In my case in particular, the company that I'm with now doesn't really hire new graduates. So a lot of, like, everyone on my team, everyone that I work with has probably minimum, 5 to 10 years experience on the job. So I would say it's very beneficial for me to be in that position working with these people, but I would have never gotten there without Talent Path and their connection with contract land staff. I would also say that Talent Path prepared me and also the peers around me for the working world through the training process that we go through, the 90 days at the beginning of when you onboard with Talent Path. And, it helped instill confidence in myself and in the people around me that, we can do this even though we're considered to be, new to the job. We do have the skills and the ability to learn to get things done and add value. I think Talent Path did a great job of expressing that. And, I think the thing that I take with me the most is probably the confidence, being around a lot of people this was new to everyone. And, we were guided by great mentors like yourself that, told us different ways to add value and make things better when we come on board,
Yeah, that's great. Now, that's actually a lot of my job, and a lot of the tasks of Talent Path is to get individuals like you and convince you that you can add value, that you have, and give you the tools to be able to do that, but also convincing the clients, and saying, look at these individuals, trust me, they know what they're doing. They can come into a position, they can add value right away. They are work ready. All the taglines that we like to call ourselves are true, and you embody all of those taglines. So, hey, I appreciate the time that you spent today introducing other people to you and telling a little bit about your story. It's helpful for all people on the all stakeholders on the Talent Path spectrum to see someone like yourself explain some of the things that you have. So, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Wished continued success to you, and looking forward to hearing about great things that you're doing in the future. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate the opportunity, Jeff. Thank you.
Yep. Take care.